For many people, even the possibility of rejection triggers so much anxiety that it's easier to just sit on the shore and let life come to them and take whatever washes up, instead of facing their fear and going after what they really want. Rejection sucks that bad. There are some ways you can get past this though. Most influencers these days solve the problem the James Bond way. Dude got hurt once, didn't let himself feel anything again. Just ice cold. Yeah, that'll work, sort of. But if you've locked away your emotions, you can't enjoy those things once you have them. There is a better way to unlock real confidence, but we have to understand the fear first. Because if you think about it, fear of rejection makes no sense. It's like, okay, yeah, you ask a girl out and she says no. Or you ask to hang out with a group and they don't invite you back. Okay, fine, so you didn't get in, but nothing has changed. You're exactly the same as you were before you asked. Literally nothing bad has happened. So why are we so afraid of being turned down? Oftentimes it's because the outcome of our situation is dependent on someone else accepting us. Whether it's an internal outcome, how we feel, because when we get rejected, that person's basically telling you, hey, you're not good enough for me, which is one of the most painful things that a man can hear. We want to be valued, and being rejected makes us feel worthless, which sucks. Or it could be the external outcome. A lot of times our success with careers, relationships, living situations, all of that is tied to whether or not people accept us or reject us. There's a legitimate fear that if we get rejected, we may not get to go to the places we want to go or do the things we want to do. So if you want to be free from that fear, you need your brain to stop tagging rejection as a danger. And one way to achieve that is to make sure the outcome doesn't matter to you. That's what we call outcome independence. And James Bond's stoicism is one way to get it. Because if you never feel anything for anyone, yeah, they can't hurt you if they reject you. And sure, that'll buy you some cheap confidence, but you'll never get to enjoy anything if you don't invest in it. Which is why you probably notice stoic people are pretty miserable. But there's gotta be something better than that. And weirdly, the Tate brothers, of all people, figured it out, sort of. When asked where they get the confidence to say all the wild stuff that they do in spite of the hate that they get for it, they both pointed to their relationship as brothers. They each say that they know the other has their back and cares about them no matter what, and that's where they get their confidence and security. And that's actually real. If you know that everything's gonna be okay because somebody has your back and cares about you, yeah, you don't need to be afraid of anything. So they're right. Except for one problem. They're not outcome independent. Their emotional security is still tied to someone else who can let them down. And what happens when one of the brothers gets arrested for maybe doing some human trafficking? Where are you gonna get all that bravado when your confidence is in jail? And this is the reality that most people face. Family is unreliable, friends are fickle, and people only show you love if you give them something that they want. And as soon as you stop, they take it away. If you want to feel totally secure and confident in the face of rejection, then you need to know for sure that you are safe, cared about, and valued, no matter what happens. And no person on earth can give you that. Not all the time, and certainly not without a cost. But with Jesus, you don't have to give him anything to get him to care about you. He doesn't need anything from us the way that other people do, and he proved it. He didn't wait for us to give him anything. He loved us while we hated him. He fought for us and gave himself up on our behalf while we were still spitting in his face and fighting against him. We rejected him, and he loved us anyway. His love isn't fickle, it isn't dependent on anything we do for him, and no one could ever do more to prove that. That's why we're confident when we follow him and live his way. Because you get to be both. You get to be James Bond, just cool. Hey, do whatever you want, man. I'm good. And you can invest in things. You get to actually enjoy the good gifts that God gives you. When you know that you'll be okay, no matter what, because God has you, you can be defeated by life and remain unhurt. You can be rejected and stand back up unfazed. Living the way of Jesus gives us complete freedom from fear, because when you're protected by the love of God, you don't just feel emotionally secure, you actually are safe. Nothing can harm your soul. And you don't just feel validated, you actually are valued. Nobody paid a higher price to have a relationship with you. Let's see the Tate brothers promise that. You also fear rejection less because you don't really need anything that people have to offer. You already have what you need, so you can become the source of light and the love and care that other people want. instead of seeking people to fill your need. If you become a giver out of the abundance of love that God's given you, that actually solves a lot of rejection before it happens, because people are coming to you for what you have instead of you going to them. And the freedom you get from this allows you to reframe rejection in your mind. It's not this terrifying monster to avoid anymore. It actually turns into an opportunity to learn. Okay, so you got turned down. Yeah, it still hurts, but instead of spiraling down and being completely defeated by it, you're free to ask, why? You can dig in and figure out why they chose somebody else and what you need to do to improve so that next time they pick you. It all starts by following the way of Jesus and letting him love you. If you do that, then you have genuine outcome independence. It doesn't matter what anybody else does, because your safety, provision, all of that stuff is taken care of by the God who rules the universe. The outcome of your eternal situation is truly independent of what anyone else on the planet does. This is where we get our confidence. But just because you're confident enough to try doesn't automatically mean it will work. You'll still need to navigate the practical realities of how people operate. And for more on that, check out this video over here. Stay weird, brother.